Hello fellow makeup lovers, how are you guys doing today? I'm super excited for this video because I thought it'd be fun to go ahead and test out the new pastel collection from Midas Cosmetics. So they came out with two pastel palettes. There's a volume 1 and a volume 1.2, and it's specifically a pastel collection that's supposed to work for every skin tone. So one is a little bit lighter, one's a little bit of deeper pastels, because I feel like if you have very pale skin, that even the most ashy pastels will normally show a pretty pastel on me, and the more bright pastels will just look more rainbow-esque on me. And then you have people with a deep skin tone where the more bright pastel shades look like regular pastels, and then the shades that might be just a regular pastel on me would look ashy or too light for them. So I think that this was a really great idea. I feel like everyone can wear pastels. It's just about doing it right, what base you use, what techniques you use. So I don't know, I really like this. And I believe that these are $16 each or $30 for both, which is pretty affordable, especially compared to a lot of other pastel products I've tried. I do have a full pastel palette battle that I can link in the cards right here for you in case you're curious. And then in that collection, they also released 4 different lip glosses. I believe these are their icing lip glosses, and they just look kind of more like nude shades. Some of them were a little more sparkly. I think there's a clear gloss in here as well, so I'm curious to go ahead and try these out because I really did like one of the glosses that they did with Smoky Glow. It was like a really beautiful like nude, and it was just like, it wasn't too sparkly, because they had another one that was like a sparkly topper, and I do not like topper type of lip glosses, so I'm curious to see if I'll end up liking these or not. And also, I know I already threw it on screen, but these products were sent to me as PR. I am affiliated with Midas Cosmetics, which means if you use my code AMYLOVES, I make a commission off of your purchase, and then you also save a little bit of money as well. So it's like a win-win scenario, but just want to be honest as always. Let's go ahead and just jump into the palettes, start doing some swatches, and we'll do an eye look, and I will lip swatch all of the lip glosses. So starting off with the volume 1 palette, I do wish that there was like a little bit more distinction between the volume 1 and volume 2. Like the patterns are very, very similar. It's just like the tiny it's just like the little tiny 0.2 right here. So I wish that maybe like this one had been like a little bit lighter, this one had been a little deeper or something, just to give them more variance if you are buying both of them. So here's the inside of volume 1. It's a little bit deeper, and it has like, you know, just like a rainbow of pastels. And then there is a duochrome shade here, which looks really, really stunning. And then here is the inside of volume 1.2, which again, the colors are pretty similar. These are just a little bit more muted, and there's a duochrome here, which looks so beautiful. I'm so excited that they did like the whole mattes with one duochrome. I think it's just cute, and I'm so happy they didn't throw in a white and black shadow with these palettes. I love it's just like a very condensed little pop of pastel. So here's what they look like next to one another. You can see obviously very similar vibes. It's just this one's a little deeper, this one's a little lighter. So let's go ahead and swatch. You know what I'm gonna do actually? I'm sure that there's probably been other videos on this collection already, you know, swatching them out, doing them, you know, as palettes, but I think I'm gonna go ahead and swatch the shades side by side. Like I'm gonna do the red in this palette, then the red in this palette, just so you can see them all together compared and just decide which palette might be right for you if you're not wanting both. So we're gonna start off with this orangey red shade in volume 1. Here's what that looks like. Ooh, super smooth. And then we have the orangey red shade in volume 1.2. This one almost looks a little bit more coral. Oh, wow. Yeah, that one's way more pinky. Okay, quite different. Okay, next we have the yellow in volume 1, which is quite vibrant. That actually looks really, really nice. I live for a good, really pigmented yellow. And then we have the yellow in volume 1.2, which this one definitely appears more pastel on my skin tone. Okay, next let's go ahead and do the duochrome here, which honestly, the shades here, like this one, I think it says positivity, but I don't love this writing because it's really, really hard to read. I don't know what that one is called, but we're just gonna go ahead and swatch it. Okay, so it's a little bit more, like not super dry, like a little bit more on the dry side, but it looks so beautiful. It's got reflex of yellow and green and pink and maybe even a little bit purple. There's a lot going on there. So I think that's a really fun addition. And then going into the duochrome in 1.2. Oh yeah, that feels, oh my gosh, that is so beautiful. Again, it's a little bit drier. It's not quite as creamy as like the duochromes in the Midas Cosmetics Smoky Glow palette, but that one is so beautiful. Like, it's got pink and green and yellow. Like, oh, that's stunning. Yeah, those are definitely quite different and both so pretty. I don't even know what I'm gonna do on my eyes today. I mean, I guess I feel like I should go more pinky, like to match the vibes of my sweater. Okay, the next shade in volume 1 is this kind of berry shade. Oops, obviously I swatched that a little bit funny. And then in 1.2, we have like a light purple. Okay, next in volume 1, we have a really beautiful light blue. Oh, okay, that one's very pastel. And then in volume 1.2, we have another light blue. This one is a little bit less purple. And then last but not least, for volume 1, we have this really beautiful green shade. That one's really pretty as well. And then in volume 1.2, we have a very light green. And this one, I don't know, something about the tone is pretty unique to me. Oh wow, okay. So I feel like the greens are probably the only shades in here that I'm like, ooh, those are super similar. I feel like the one in volume 1 blended out would look the same as the volume 1.2, but overall I definitely think they're quite different, and I think they both look really pretty. For me, I'm a little bit more drawn to the volume 1.2, but they're pretty affordable and everything looks pretty pigmented as well. So let's go ahead and get this on my eyes. I already went ahead and primed my eyes with the Curl and Pebble eyeshadow primer in the shade Parchment. I think I'm going to go ahead and take volume 1.2. I'm going to start off with the light purple. I picked up so easily on my brush. I'm going to go ahead and just start that off in my crease. Start blending it out. I feel like it's shearing quite a bit right away. But I'm just going to go ahead and build it up some. Okay, so it's definitely building up. I'm just tapping that into my crease. And I didn't use a white base today. I didn't use a super sticky base. I just used my regular eyeshadow primer. So I'm sure there would be ways to get this to be even more intense, but I kind of just wanted to add them into my typical routine. I think I'm going to go ahead and dip into volume 1, and I'm going to take that purple. I'm just going to grab it with the same brush and just pop it on the outer V. Okay, I feel like I'm being kind of quiet, but that's blending well, building well, looking really pretty. I think I'm going to go ahead and take a little bit of that same berry shade, and I'm going to pop that on the outer portion of the lower lash line just to connect it a little bit. And then I'm going to go ahead and take the blue shade from volume 1.2 just because I really like the tone of that one. And I'm going to pop that along the entire rest of the lower lash line. It's pretty light, so I'm just going to go ahead and build it up a little bit. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use the duochrome that was in the shade 1.2 just because I really, really love the tones of it. But because it's a little bit on the drier side, I'm debating on whether, and I just dropped it. I'm debating on whether I should use a glitter primer or wet it. I think I'm going to go ahead and wet it. I'm going to use some of this Iconic London Glow Spray because I got it in, gosh, I want to say a BoxyCharm maybe. And I don't really ever use this. I don't like it on the face. So I guess it'll work for spraying eyeshadow. Whew. Oh man, I forgot how fragrance that is. Ew. I'm gonna go ahead and pop that, oh my gosh, all over my lid. So pretty. Doing a bit of a soft cut crease. And I'm just gonna blend whatever's left over on the brush into the outer V. Okay, last but not least for this look, I'm gonna go ahead and grab my Smoky Glow palette real quick just to grab something for the inner corner. I guess, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and use the shade Nutty, which this is fun because the blue in this kind of brings the lower lash line together a little bit more. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and throw the Beauty Bay Blue Skies liner on my waterline, throw on some We Makeup Since waterproof mascara, and then I'll be right back. Okay, for highlighter today, I'm gonna go ahead and take my Lethal Cosmetics highlight in the shade Ionic, which is just a really beautiful, soft, neutral with like the smallest amount of pinkness to it. And I'm gonna throw that on my cheekbones. Okay, so now let's go ahead and try the glosses. Ooh, the packaging on these is nice. Super, super pretty. So here's what the 4 shades look like. These do look a little bit sparkly, but I don't know if they're going to be like super duper too intense. This one looks like a really pretty duochrome, but I have them here already, so I'm just going to go ahead and try them on. And I'm going to start off with the clear shade, which is called Classic. What a good name for a clear gloss. Ooh. Smells like something super familiar. I feel like the smell of this just gave me like super nostalgia, but I don't even know what it's reminding me of. It's like something from my childhood. But this one is super glossy, feels pretty comfortable on the lips. I would say it's more on like the thick creamy side, but it's not sticky, it's not thin, it's just like kind of a comfortable middle. I like it. Okay, so now let's go ahead and do the shade Merengue, which is that beautiful duochrome. Makes me want to dance. Okay. I don't know about that. Maybe this as a topper over a lipstick would be cool, but just like on its own over my lips. The duochrome almost looks like it's like a green reflect. I don't hate it. I think it looks okay. I mean, it does look very, very glossy and it's comfortable. It doesn't look overly shimmery, which I definitely appreciate a lot. So I do like it. I feel like that first instant application, I was like, no. But the more I look at the lips, it's growing on me a little bit. Okay, next let's go ahead and do the shade Strawberry, which looks like a really beautiful pink with maybe like a little bit of a gold shift to it. This one does look sparkly, so let's see. Ooh. Ooh. No. I can't. I don't. It's not the worst thing I've ever seen, but I just am so not a glittery, sparkly lip person. It's just, it like doesn't feel right. Like it doesn't feel me. Not to be dramatic. I do feel like I can feel the sparkly texture on the lips as well when I rub my lips together. So I'm gonna go ahead and like wipe this applicator down and maybe see if my sister likes sparkly gloss and pass it on to her. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and try the last one just for the heck of it while we're here, although I don't have the highest of hopes. This one is called Almond, and it looks to be like a really beautiful brown nude with a gold shift. Okay. Well, that is a very unique color. I will give them that. I think I actually kind of like this one a little bit more than the pink one, just because it's so interesting and the shift is really pretty. I actually think that this one used lightly over a deep brown liquid lipstick would be really pretty, like just tapping it on the center. So I think I'm gonna hold on to this one. I don't love it on its own. It's not a lip gloss I would see using a ton, but I feel like this as a topper is a bit more, there's just something to it. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and throw the clear gloss back on. Okay guys, so this is the finished look with the pastel collection, and I do like how it turned out. I feel like my overall thoughts for these little mini palettes is I do like them. I really like their price. I like the quality. I feel like it's a cute little pastel look. But if you already own a ton of pastel products and you've already been jumping on the pastel eyeshadow trend, and if you already have pastel shadows that work for you and your skin tone, I don't feel like you absolutely must have these or they're bringing something incredibly new to the table. But if you are looking for a little pop of pastel palette, especially I feel like the volume one is the one that's a little bit more unique. Although it's not as pastel on me, I appreciate what this one is bringing to the table. And then out of the glosses, I feel like, you know, there's like a good little mixture of different formulas and everything going on. But the clear one is definitely my favorite. I feel like it looks so pretty and glossy and juicy, and I see I'm getting excited talking. I see myself using this one a lot in the future. So that's pretty much everything for today's video. I really hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.